ESPN has graded the free agency winners and losers, and we keep calling this free agency even though it is legal tampering. Free agency, of course, doesn't open until Wednesday, but ESPN has graded the winners and the losers of day one. Still a lot of names out there, but I think that there's some controversial picks here, and we're just kind of going to go through this. Tanner and I are going to react to them. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you hit the like button. That's the easiest way to support us. Subscribe as well so you never miss the future uploads of Ride the Line here, and throw your thoughts down in the comment section below. But the first winner that they have listed is Tua Tagovailoa. My question here is, what did it take for him to be a winner? Would he have been a winner if he went anywhere other than Miami? I can understand the upside being in Atlanta, but I also don't look at that as like, wow, that's a slam dunk. I think it's kind of just Tua needed a fresh start anywhere.
I think Tua got the perfect situation. We described it, with the Falcons. You're in a situation where you can win. You play indoors. You're in warm weather games. You're making a boatload of money from the Miami Dolphins, and now you get your $1.3 million. If you're a career backup, so be it. If you get the chance to be the starter, you probably have a chance to play pretty well. So, it's a huge win for Tua. He needed this change of scenery. Tua is not a bad quarterback. He just turns it over a little too much. And you know what? Maybe the concussions factor into that. Who knows? But he's still a reputable quarterback. I would rather have Tua than a lot of other starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Jalen Phillips is listed as another huge winner. And this one I absolutely agree with, because Jalen Phillips is a 5-year NFL pro, originally drafted in the first round by the Dolphins. His career high for sacks was in his rookie season when he had 8.5. And then in 22, it goes to 7. He did have 6.5 sacks in 8 games in 23. Then he only plays 4 games in 24. At some point in there, there's an ACL, there's an Achilles. It's not been smooth sailing for him. Last season, he plays all 17 games, moves halfway from Miami to Philadelphia, only logs 5 sacks. And then the Carolina Panthers give him 4 years, $120 million. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. I think the Panthers, they did what they had to do to get him on their team, but they gave a lot of money to a guy I didn't expect to get that much.
Yeah, and you got to pay a premium to get guys to Carolina, because when you go to Carolina, you're basically saying I got no chance of winning a Super Bowl. And where Jalen Phillips is with his age right now, 26, 4 more years, he's going to be 30. He's not winning.
Get the bag now. Go get the Super Bowl later.
Probably that's the thought process here. Like sign a small deal with a legit contender, but you're not winning a Super Bowl in Carolina. So money wise, he's a winner. Obviously, he's coming from Miami, where he did not win a lot of football games, and then to Philly, where they have the chance of winning a lot of football games. So I mean, he's not going to win a Super Bowl, but he's going to get paid. So good for him.
CJ Stroud was listed as a loser. This one I don't agree with all that much. I don't think he was a winner. I guess if we're saying loser by virtue of inactivity, okay. I mean, the Texans, they released Joe Mixon. They bring in David Montgomery. They lose Tim Settle. I guess they traded Titus Howard. Maybe it's the fact that they didn't go after anybody on the open market, really, but I would disagree here and say that I don't think he's a huge loser from day one. The Texans just didn't do all that much.
And if you don't do a lot though on day one, and again, the only offensive lineman that came off the board was Linderbaum. That there were a few others obviously, but the biggest was Linderbaum. They probably were never going to get Linderbaum. So I mean, he needs offensive linemen. Stroud just needs to get better as a quarterback. Like you can put whatever offensive line in front of him. He just needs to be better as a quarterback. So
you said Linderbaum, he's listed as a winner, and then in parentheses it says and centers everywhere, which this Linderbaum deal is utter insanity. And I've seen people defending it online, talking about how important it is to have a smart center to control the line, to identify the mic, and you're the first point of contact and you're the leader of the line, and all that's true. All right, I get it. He's the 5th highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL. There's 2 left tackles, there's 2 right tackles, and then there's Tyler Linderbaum. He is making 150% of what the second highest paid center is. You go from $18 million to $27 million. Now, I get the Raiders had money. They had to upgrade their offensive line, but that's an insane contract for Linderbaum.
They probably could have got away paying him a little less because, like, Las Vegas is a destination, especially you've been playing in Baltimore. I'd go to Las Vegas in a heartbeat to play. I mean, it's big market. It's a team with a lot of excitement. You're going to have the first pick. You got Tom Brady there, so there's a lot of different reasons to go there. So I'm sure they paid him to a point where he said, "We're not talking to anybody else. I want to be a Las Vegas Raider." It is really funny though that Todd Monken went to the Browns and people thought Linderbaum was going to go to the Browns because of that.
Speaking of the Browns, how about a big old loser? They have done nothing at all.
So my counter to that is they don't really need to do a lot. They got a good defense. They got talent on that side of the ball. Offensively, you have a lot of skill players. Like, you have talent on offense. I'm not saying you don't. You need some pieces. But you don't have a quarterback, and you don't know what you're going to do at quarterback. So, like, that would be my counter to them not doing a lot.
I think offensive line would have been the spot to really
they have 5 free agent offensive linemen, right?
Yeah, they do.
They signed one. I think they signed one.
They also do have to go after some other skill positions. Like you said, they've got some guys, but they got to go out. They don't know who the quarterback is. And when they figure it out, they still got to support him. And they don't really know how they're going to do that right now either.
They got Zion Johnson and Quincy Williams at linebacker. So Zion Johnson's a guard. So you filled one of your guard spots. My thing is, again, they have so much to worry about, but I do think it just starts with the quarterback for them.
Kenneth Walker is the last one that's listed here, the last person, and it's listed as a TBD. So I'm interested to hear what you think about this. I'm very confused by what the Chiefs are doing because Kenneth Walker is an aggressive signing. It's long-term. It's 3 years, so you don't need to win in year one. But you make that signing, you bring back Travis Kelce, which is a big one as well. Mahomes coming off the ACL. Those look like win now moves, but then you let Jalen Watson get out the building and you trade Trent McDuffie. Both of them go to the Rams. So you've just lost your starting cornerbacks. Leo Chanel is a free agent. So it's like the offense is in win now mode, but the defense is in rebuilding mode. So I'm not sure where they're going.
Well, if you score enough points, defense doesn't matter. That's kind of where they're at with this. So if you can run the ball and keep the defense off the field, maybe the defense is better by default. I mean, you got picks. Like, that's the thing. You kind of hedged for the future getting the picks, and you also are set up well in the present. I think I'm not like super high on Kenneth Walker. Like, I think it's a great signing. Don't get me wrong. But if the Seahawks don't have the playoff run, are we talking about Kenneth Walker in the same light? No. Like, we're talking about how Charbonnet steals touchdowns. You know, like, that's kind of that was the narrative before the Super Bowl.
Well, maybe part of it is Kenneth Walker got to be the solo act, and look how good he was.
You know, and he was great, but it takes a really good offensive line. It takes a physical run game. Like the Chiefs, you know, I don't care what running back you have back there. And I'm not saying Kareem Hunt's, Kenneth Walker by any means. But if you don't have the offensive line to open up the holes and you don't have the offensive line to protect, you're going to have a hard time running the football. I think it's a good move in the sense of, like, you got a running back that's legit. Are you going to be able to run the ball? Time will tell.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anyone else on the list?
The list is done, so I'm just trying to think of some other guys, but I'll be honest, there's still so many guys out there that I want to wait and see. You know what? I'll make my own winner. I'll throw one more in here. The Raiders linebacking coach. The fact they got Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, first and foremost here. Everybody in Las Vegas, have one of these around. Have some water, because those boys, Georgia teammates, Las Vegas, we don't need them drinking anything else and then driving out there on the roads. We need to stick to water. We need to make sure the speed limit is enforced, all of that. But Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, very good players. The Raiders, they are, I guess you could say they are overpaying for some guys. But at the same time, like, if you had to pay that to get them to sign, then you didn't overpay. You just paid what it took. And rebuilding the center of your defense, that's a good place to start. And those are two really good players.
The Raiders as a whole just had a great day. And I think the Raiders, Tom Brady's not a loser. And Tom Brady's going to figure this out. And people are saying, well, he doesn't have control of this or that. Like, Tom Brady's got his hand in everything there. Make no mistake about it. And the fact that he didn't want to send Max Crosby to the Patriots is just another reason why that he's got his hand in everything. So I think the Raiders had a great day. Linderbaum's going to be awesome for them. You're going to put him behind or put him in front of Fernando Mendoza. They made additions to the defense. You have superstars on that team with like guys like Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. Like, this team's going to be really good in the future. Maybe not next year, but it's coming.
I agree.
My biggest winner, I will say my biggest winner is the Raiders overall. Biggest loser, like New England Patriots. There's so many, like we have no offensive line. I mean, we have no offensive line based on what they did last year. I guess you have them under contract, but you have no offensive line. Stephon Diggs is out. He's gone. Do you think anyone's going to pick him up? Probably not.
I mean, sorry, but not to cut you off on the Diggs thing, but you did sign Elijah Vera Tucker. So that's good for the offensive line.
That is good for the offensive line. So I'll take that. But the Patriots did not go get any receiver talent. Alec Pierce, didn't want to go there. They didn't give him a large enough deal. I saw that.
Yeah, it wasn't enough money.
Yeah. So, and again, the Colts overpaid for it. The combination of Daniel Jones and Alec Pierce right now is insane.
It's funny. The Commanders actually offered him even more. He signed for 29.5. Commanders offer him 30, and he chose Indy.
Again, though, at what point does it come down to I want to stay in the same spot and just keep my family in one area?
Yeah. His brother goes to Purdue. He's buddies with Daniel Jones. It is what it is.
Alec Pierce is he married?
I don't know if he's married or not.
But anyways, you want to stay in one spot, like, because at what point, again, money matters for sure. But like, if I can get $5 million to go here, but I have to pick up and move my family or move here, and it's just not worth it. Some of these guys. So I'm still just not happy with the Patriots did. I think the Patriots need a lot more.